All right.
Here we are again.
Week 9.
Same old story.
Same old song and dance.
Yep. But positive attitudes.
Yeah.
Good podcasts come to those who wait.
That's right. Let's take a moment and look on the bright side.
Mm-hmm.
We have our health.
That's true. We will soon have a podcast.
Things are looking up.
All my fingers and toes, baby.
That reminds me, we have a review.
That's okay. Some constructive criticism, I hope. Point me in the right direction review.
This is from Acting Casual on iTunes, writes, well, the title of this review is, "It's like AIDS came to Gay Town all over again." That doesn't sound positive. It sounds...
It's a harsh... What was the star rating?
It's 5-star.
Okay. So,
It just...
pro-AIDS...
Yeah, that's like almost homophobic then, if that's a 5-star. But then, good news, the rest of the review says, "I'm not trying to be homophobic."
Oh.
So.
That's like saying, with
off
all
the
due
hook.
respect, it's a get out of jail free card every time.
And then it says, "I really enjoyed these two gents' dynamic conversations." And this is just riddled with spelling errors. "Highly recommend this podcast to anyone who liked the movie Prisoners starring Paul Dano." I don't know.
I haven't seen it.
I don't get the reference. But I fear that it probably is also somehow AIDS or gay related.
Oh.
I haven't a clue.
But it gave me an idea for a podcast, though.
Yeah.
And, if we just kidnapped people and forced them to do the podcasts. But, I mean, I always want somebody to do the work for me. I'm going to roll up the sleeves and do my own work.
I feel I'm a little nervous, but should I look up what the plot of this movie with Paul Dano is?
Yeah. I don't know what it was either, so I'm interested.
This is a thriller directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Oh.
It has Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, Viola Davis, Maria Bello, Terrence Howard. The plot focuses on the abduction of 2 young girls in Pennsylvania and the subsequent search for the suspected abductor by the police. Yeah, so it looks like Paul Dano, it was a creep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That fits.
Yeah.
This is kind of a creepy, not quite a podcast. So I can see where he's coming from. I'm glad he's enjoying it, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's like old Radiohead said. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. And this brings us back around to the work we have ahead of us. What the hell are we doing here?
Hopefully striking gold with some new podcast ideas, and I guess I can start us off if you're ready for it.
Yeah, we coming out hot, coming out of this gate.
Now this is straight out of some memories of boyhood joy right here. Getting to go down to the public library with my mom and choose a brand new book, and I love those damn Choose Your Own Adventure books, so I suggest Choose Your Own Podventure.
Choose Your Own Podventure.
That's right.
And so this would be so we would tell people to like fast forward to a different spot.
Well, we're just going to have to record asynchronously, and after each statement of you're walking along the avenue and a car pulls over, the door opens and you're beckoned inside. Do you ditch
Paul,
and run?
It's Paul Dano.
Yeah. But if you choose to get into the car, you'll need to fast forward 22 minutes and 19 seconds. If you refuse to get into the car, you're going to rewind 3 minutes and 14 seconds.
And eventually you're going to get back to the van.
Yeah.
That van just keeps coming up if you don't get in.
These were never good stories. It's all about the novelty of it. So all we got to do is, write a shitty story or steal someone else's, cut it up, and do it out of order. Give people instructions.
I have a very vivid memory of a Choose Your Own Adventure called Codename Jonah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, you were some sort of a super spy, but you were trying to save a humpback whale.
Oh.
That was...
Do you end up inside that whale?
I don't think so. I think that I could never figure out how to beat the book. That's a weird statement. Beat the book. Man, we were really bored back before the invention of video games.
I don't know. I know what you mean because I'd always try to keep track of where I was so that I could... But at a certain point, you only have so many fingers. And if it's like truly branching and you don't hit a death, you're like, well, shit, I'm doing really well. But I was supposed to be finding out all of these endings, and now...
Yeah. That's, that is the thing that really... Did they ever make, like, dirty versions of those?
You mean like a Hustler letters section where you get to control what the letter writer's
kind of
going to do?
Like a predecessor to, like, the Japanese dating simulator games.
Yeah.
You ever play one of those?
Yes, I have. I played the one where you like pigeons.
No, I haven't played that one.
Yeah, there's one where all of the pretty boys that you can date are all just different birds. You get a choice of whether you want to see them as an anime boy or as their proper pigeon self.
Oh wow, I haven't heard of that one. There's one that's like all dads, where it's like choose your own dad.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd play that game.
Just a gay dad dating simulator.
Are you the child, or are you another dad?
I don't
looking
know.
For a
I was gonna say, like, I for some reason decided to check out one of those games. One of the ones that's like, this game will make you come.
Oh yeah. Watch out! You're not gonna last 5 minutes, motherfucker.
And it was like. It was like clearly supposed to be like incest based, but for legal reasons they couldn't do that, and so it was just like I'm gonna spy on my landlady in the shower. Why does this teenage boy have a landlady?
Maybe he's kind of like Arthur Fonzarelli and trying to take a peek at hot Mrs. C.
Oh, Arthur. Oh, Howard.
You get a sweet apartment above somebody's garage and try to watch their mom in the shower, work on your motorcycle for a while.
Yeah,
Show off that trick you got with the jukebox that works every time.
Hey, how can she resist? So that's Choose Your Own Adventure.
Yeah, and I think that we should probably do a Fonzie.
It should be a Fonzie softcore dating sim.
Yes.
So who would who are the possible, like, the way these work? Like, you can choose, but if you choose one character, right, then you can't date them all, or maybe you can. So you're gonna have Joni.
Yeah, you got Joni, you got Mrs. C, you got what other?
I mean, hey, it's 2019. Maybe Potsy.
That's true. We could have Potsy in there. I don't think we can do Ralph Mouth, though. I don't think anybody's buying that.
No, Ralph clearly, that's incel visibility.
Mm-hmm.
Mork from Ork.
Yeah, and
Laverne and Shirley.
Mork
from Ork is there's like a weird one, where it's like an alien. I mean, honestly, the idea of Happy Days being a dating sim, the fact that there's like a man that comes out of an egg, that seems super on brand. Who else Al. So this is going to be...
I'm trying to remember any teachers' names. They had scenes in the high school, didn't they?
There's a DLC pack where you can play as a Welcome Back Kotter character. The DLC for our Choose Your Own Adventure podcast about fucking all the characters from Happy Days. Yeah. And clearly there's going to be another thing that's real popular... is like the espionage and intrigue always seems to find a way into these stories, So what's going to be... There's going to be a story that, like, from the very beginning, it's like, yeah, things have been real strange around town ever since.
Okay. I said Al's is the name of the burger restaurant, correct?
Yeah, Al's Diner.
But at a certain point, didn't Pat Morita take over?
Yeah.
And I can't remember. Arnold? Was that his name?
I think it's Arnold.
I think that we could maybe have, this is kind of a SpongeBob plot, but maybe Arnold has stolen Al's burger recipe, and we're trying to infiltrate this new restaurant, and maybe Joni's got a new job working there. Maybe, I think we can have different characters split, and we can have a schism in where the folks are getting their burgers.
Yeah,
Pinky Tuscadero was the other one I was trying to think of.
Pinky Tuscadero, yeah. Wow, you know what? I just went to the IMDb. Not a strong female cast on Happy Days. I guess that's probably the point, right?
But also
something weird is going on in the back of the kitchen.
Yeah,
the meat tastes slightly different.
What's in the burgers?
Ever since Arnold took over, and there's been a lot of dogs gone missing around town.
Don't worry, Mork's on the case.
Mork. Yeah, that's if you have sex with Mork, then he can show you how to use his Mork powers.
Yeah.
I think didn't he when he was on Happy Days, he had like a power.
He could like freeze time when he was on Happy Days.
He had like because it was like Fonz had like the power of his thumbs, and then I think Mork used his index fingers.
Mm-hmm. I think they nerfed all that power once he got the spin-off series because it was just too much.
Yeah, it was too much.
He was already into like Dragon Ball Z shit, and they're like, you have to go back to Dragon Ball.
Yeah, they put his tail back on.
Yeah,
yeah, because you could play as Mork. You could just camp out.
That's true. Maybe Mork is like the if this game turns out to be too hard for kids, they can play in Mork mode, and nothing can damage you. You can see through everyone's lies.
Yeah.
If everything's moving a little too fast, you can just slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, it's like when you had the plasma pistol and then the other pistol. You could knock someone's shields out and then just one-shot them with the pistol.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little Halo 2.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking that this should just...
So you can play
it can start out as a podcast, but it's gonna be the best video game ever.
Yeah. So I also like this idea that you can play as any of the characters. So the story, there is no main character. I mean, you choose a role, but you can play as Mork. You can play as the Fonz.
I'm worried that to get the desired 45 minutes to an hour, we're going to have to record hundreds of hours of podcast. So it's not going to be really fast forward 15 minutes. It's going to be like fast forward 3 hours, 14 minutes, and 19 seconds.
All right.
But that's okay. That's might be a little unwieldy, but I mean, love the scope of this.
Imagine all the re-listens you could get out of, if you had like a 36-hour long Choose Your Own Adventure Happy Days dating simulator podcast.
How long do you think it'll take the listener to catch on that we're always directing them to an advertisement, and then their selection will play?
You just keep getting a mattress ad no matter what you do. Man, you know what? This is sounding like a much better idea the longer we talk about it. I feel like it's another one of those ones that I'm like, I want this. This is the alchemy. I don't want to do the work. It's the alchemy of our show is that, like, the longer we talk, the better our ideas get. And eventually we are going to come up with that greatest podcast that will save the world. It hasn't happened yet.
No, this one might be it.
This could be it. What was it called?
Oh, well, I mean, it started out as
Choose Your Own Podventure.
Yeah, but if we can not get sued, I'd like to just say these happy days are yours and mine.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, these happy days, share them with me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I feel like that one is. And now we haven't ever discussed this, but I feel like, are we gonna be miserly with these ideas? Like, after we've rejected them, once we've cast them off, are we gonna be patent trolls about this? Are we gonna?
Everything has a price, my dear boy.
I feel like we could be like Elon Musk and be like, hey, we didn't want this idea, but if you want it, just give us a little shout out that we were the ones that came up with the idea for your podcast, and then you can have it. You can have one of our lesser ideas.
That at an absolute minimum. I don't think that I'm going to be necessarily a patent troll. I'm not going to try to bleed people. Like, I want there to be more good podcasts, and there's some good ideas here. But if you steal one of these ideas and don't even say that you didn't come up with that idea, wow, that makes me, man.
You can't see it.
Really burns my buns.
There's steam shooting out of his ears right now.
I was gonna suggest we have a catalog and try to sell them all, but
we could do like one of those Time Life Records advertisements. We should do that anyway. That's a really great idea.
We could, you get your first 10 podcast ideas for a penny, but after that you're paying full price, and you gotta buy one at full price. Oh wait, that's the Columbia House.
I'm sorry. Columbia House. I'm thinking of those like,
yeah, like the
songs of the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would just have it has like all the names of the songs going by, and then one in yellow would be the one that was playing.
Yeah. The one I
my
remember
little baby took me by the hand. We made love in my Chevy van, and that's all right with me. That's the one I remember, because I remember being freaked out that song was talking about fucking in a van, and they would just play it in the middle of the day on TV.
This is really the Monster Ballads one, and Pure Moods.
Monster Ballads and Pure Moods. And I've talked about it before. The like country Weird Al duo.
Country? I immediately think Ray Stevens, but
there was these two guys, and their names were like, why can I not think of it? It's like Pinkett and Earl or something like that.
Oh.
And they did Oh, I Lobster and Never Flounder and Mama, She's Lazy. Anyway.
Okay, I vaguely
Blue
remember.
Hair's Driving in My Lane. Pinkard and Bowden. That was their name. And I'm so glad that we spent all this time talking about it for some reason. I once went on a road trip and with an old friend of mine and a girlfriend, and me and my buddy just kept playing Pinkard and Bowden in the car, and then my girlfriend broke up with me.
Because of the musical choice?
I think it was just like a wake-up call that she thought everything that I liked was stupid, and so she dumped me. But that was the beginning of the trip.
Wow.
So
she did not take into account her own personal comfort over the however long this trip was going to last. It just needed, that Band-Aid needed ripped off, right?
Yeah, well, it made for an awkward camping trip.
Ooh.
All right, I got an idea here.
Okay.
This idea is called Who Watches The Watchmen?
Okay.
And so this would be a podcast where we just call up our friends. We just call people up and find out if they're watching that new Watchmen show. See what their opinion is. See if they're watching.
I have not been watching The Watchmen.
I have not either.
Do you?
And I honestly
should
am
we make a pact not to until?
The show would be us not knowing anything about the Watchmen TV show. I mean, other than what I've picked up just from like living in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It was on at the bar the other night. I saw. I couldn't figure out I couldn't make heads or tails of what was going on in it, except that it just seemed like every other TV show in the world right now. But they were calling it The Watchmen for some reason. There wasn't the blue guy, wasn't there? I didn't see the owl man.
Blotchface.
No, I believe he didn't make it out of the original, because it's not.
Oh, it's a sequel?
It's like a sequel.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Man, it seems like a prequel would have more rich stuff to draw on than a sequel does.
But now we're not doing this. This is we're getting to.
Yeah. No, like this is just about if somebody's watching it and trying to.
We could call someone up. Should we?
You mean like? So are we just seeing if somebody's watching it on HBO Go right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can
just
do that.
See if somebody is. All right. Let's just find out if my ex-wife has been watching The Watchmen.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, just so you know, you're being recorded. We have to do that because it's the law. Me and AJ are working on the podcast idea.
Mm-hmm.
And we had this idea for a show called Who Watches The Watchmen?
Oh, I thought you didn't have a podcast yet.
This is our idea. We're just testing it out.
Oh, you're testing out Who Watches The Watchmen. Okay, the movie or the TV series on HBO?
The HBO. I know that you're a big prestige drama person.
Don't categorize me.
This is why we divorced.
It's Nate. Sorry, my husband's asking who I'm on the phone with.
Oh no. So yeah, we're just like the idea is that we're just calling people up and asking them if they are watching The Watchmen.
Yes, I've been watching The Watchmen.
Now, the blue man is not in it. Is that correct? We have not been watching.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out which guys are in this thing.
The blue man is not in it, but his penis does make a cameo.
Oh. Kind of a son of blue man.
Is it? So it's gone rogue then.
I gotta say, it's a giant penis, so it's a bit more than a cameo. Yeah, the Peters went rogue. No, I don't think the Blue Man is in it. It's like a completely different storyline, but I've only watched the pilot, to be honest.
Yeah. So it is. You can confirm that this takes place. It's like a sequel.
I don't know. It's very confusing. Like, so there's a whole group of Rorschachs, and they're like the KKK.
Wait. So we thought he was dead. Is he like the mop from the Mickey Mouse cartoon?
I don't know. Okay. I only watched the first episode, and it was confusing, and then I felt like I should go back and watch the movie again and or read the comics, but that's never going to happen.
Does it got any of the folks from the movie in it, or is it all new cast too?
What?
Is it an all new cast
It's a whole new cast.
Okay.
Except for Billy Crudup's penis. That's still in it.
He's been painting it up blue every day, just hoping for a phone call. His penis has its own phone.
Just pops in the background of some of the scenes.
Waggles around.
I mean, really, if you're gonna spin off one of those characters, that truly is the one.
There's the guy with the reflective mask. He's in it. Wasn't that in the movie? Wasn't there someone with a reflective mask?
I think you're thinking of Destro from the G.I. Joe cartoon.
Okay.
Reflective mask. I remember there was a Birdman, and we've already talked about the guy with the dirty mask. There's
Dirty Face.
Yeah,
I think that was his name.
There's Cigar Man.
Cigar
there
Man.
Was Cigar Man who had the fire gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the lady, watch lady.
There was
Hot
who
Pants.
Was like
Hot Pants.
Wonder Woman.
The gay.
She was like the Wonder Woman watch lady. I can't remember it. Anyway.
Was the Undertaker in there?
What? What from the WWE?
I think that was one of them.
Weird.
That might be the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
You should give people heads up when you're planning to call them. I could have had like material going here. Could have had a whole bit.
Well, if we get a podcast, we'll do more planning.
Yeah, and you
right.
can be
If
on
you
it for sure
actually-
because you know more than we do about this.
If you actually get your shit together and get a damn podcast.
Yeah.
I saw your setup in the basement. It is pretty pro.
Yeah, we spent upwards of $1,000 on all this equipment, and we don't have a podcast.
Yeah,
It's really an albatross around our necks at this point.
You have no podcast, but you have so many gimmicks. So, I mean, it's basically as good, right?
Correct.
One of these is going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Who watches The Watchmen?
Now we know.
Now you know. I do. Do you have any other questions for me?
Can you watch the kids tomorrow?
I'm voting Democrat. Oh. On vote day? Election day?
I'll take my answer off the air.
If you need me to. If you promise that you'll vote for my mayor.
Your horse is running for office?
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. So we've answered the question of who watches The Watchmen. I don't know. I think that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
We got lots of other people that we can...
I was really worried we were going to make the phone call, and it was going to be like, do you watch The Watchmen? And she was going to say, no.
Yeah.
And then we just on to the next one, or also wasn't clear going in whether it was going to be, are you currently watching The Watchmen?
Yeah, it could
or if
be...
it's like in the past, have you watched?
Well, I mean, at this point, they wouldn't have had time to really have watched it in the past. It's a new...
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a
I
new
just mean
thing.
like, I didn't know if we had to record the podcast as Watchmen was airing a premiere episode.
I mean, we could keep going. Ostensibly, it's going to end. And if Damon Lindelof's track record is any indicator, it's going to end badly.
Yeah.
And then we can just keep asking that question, like, in this day and age, at this point, who is watching this? It's like with Lost, right? I mean, we all got fooled on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But every once in a while, I have a friend who like went to medical school or something who's just hadn't had a life for the last 10 years. It's like, I'm thinking about watching Lost now. And I'm like, oh, no.
No.
It's like somebody getting into drugs late in life. You're just like, oh. But we could make that into a podcast. We could do it with Lost, too. We could spin off and do one called Lost Souls, where we talk to people who are just now starting to watch Lost. We get to hear, like, the childlike wonder in their eyes. Where'd the polar bear come from? Thinking that any of those questions will ever be answered.
That doesn't sound like a good time to me. I don't think I want to do Lost Souls, but I can do Who's Watching the Watchmen.
All right.
Or Who Watches...
You got another one?
Yeah, I got another one. And this one is called the Body Mod Pod. And it's a podcast that just tries to come up with doable body modifications to improve the human body. Or, it could be simple as I've only got 10 fingers. 20 would be nice. Then I wouldn't have to use so many bookmarks when I'm reading my Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Yeah. Think about the musical talents you could have with all those extra fingers.
Yeah. Well, I'd have to learn how to play an instrument first, I guess. But I bet like with that many fingers I could really whistle out if I stuck them all in there.
You got a 20-finger whistle going.
But there's just so many different ideas I've had over the years. Maybe don't just pierce my septum, get rid of it. Now I've got a big hole that I can clutch like some precious stones up inside my face.
I actually have no septum, and I don't know why I've never thought of putting a precious stone up in there.
Nobody, if you're getting robbed and you've got some rubies on you, nobody's going to think to look up in your snoot.
They're going to be like, hand over your gems. It's like I'm traveling to St. Ives and I fall afoul of some bandits.
And then they're going to open your little
say,
leather
where's the
bag
gems? And I've got my little bag, of holding, and they're looking in it and they're like, there's no gems in here. And I'm like, I don't have any gems. And then I just do a knowing finger to the side of my nose and wink at them, and they're like, what the hell does that mean?
The only problem is it's gonna be like, I don't have any gems.
Well, I don't got any gems. All right, I'm Ben Shapiro. Debate me on my gems.
But I mean, it's a lot better than having to clean shit off your gems.
Yeah, that is the great, and that's why I hide all of my cocaine up in my nose.
But there are just so many ideas, and it can be a specific problem. You could, maybe you got one leg that's shorter than the other, and instead of buying that like extra big shoe,
that big Frankenstein boot,
let's just take one of your vertebrae out of your back and, put it on the bottom of your foot.
Just glue it to the heel of your foot.
Or actually, you know what? Works for horses. Let's have human horseshoes.
Just hammer them on there.
Yeah.
Now the horse's foot is actually just a fingernail.
Yeah, you don't say.
Like each leg of a horse is just a finger. If you look at the diagram of the skeleton of a horse, well, the thing that's really upsetting about if you look at the diagram of the skeleton of a horse is that it usually has a human skeleton in a similar pose, bent over in front of the horse, and I know that they're not trying to be lewd, but every time I see that, I'm just like, what's this horse skeleton about to do to this man skeleton? But the finger, yeah, their finger goes all the way up. That's just one long finger with a metal horseshoe nailed onto the fingernail.
Huh. So it's kind of like they're always running on their tiptoes?
Yeah.
Because all there is tiptoe?
All they got is tiptoes.
Okay. So, okay, horseshoes are out. But there are still a wealth of ideas for how one can mod one's body in practical ways and not just always cosmetic ways.
Now, what if you did it like this? What if you just grew the toenail out so long that it curled underneath your feet?
Never let it get that far. I'm worried it'd be a little bit brittle, but maybe with added heat, maybe we could also
dip them in tar or something.
Yeah, there's something that can be done here.
Yeah.
Or maybe they can all grow together, all my nails.
Yeah. Get them all. Hell, I mean, let's get some gene splicing in the mix.
Yeah, I mean that's where body modification.
You know what
really
I would
going.
love to have is a pair of goat legs.
Oh, just so you can canter?
Yeah, so I can cavort about and
also
play my little flute.
You've got hair on those things, so if you're in a place with no direct sunlight, you're free to go pantsless.
Yeah, it'll be our little secret. Mm-hmm. You and me.
Are you gonna learn to play a pan flute?
Yeah, I think it would be dope to be a pan, but then just play like a regular flute, just to fuck with expectations. People are like, "Oh, here comes pan flute," and then you're like, "Nope, psych, I got that Lizzo flute." That's the year is 2036.
So like the real big flute, no piccolo.
It's now known as the Lizzo flute. The old gods have passed away. Now people worship Lizzo. Boy, Lizzo really sucked the air out of the room there.
I'm sorry. I started thinking about flutes and Wolverine and what if I could have a flute shootout between my fingers. And I'm just thinking that's advanced. That's season 3 of the Body Mod Pod. Like,
how about
I've
this?
got to keep it simple right now.
You got your Wolverine, but instead of blades shooting out of your fingers, you have little steam organ pipes come out.
Mm-hmm.
Hands and feet. Wolverine, the human calliope.
Oh, and then you could do that thing where you stick your hand in your armpit like you would normally make a fart noise, but instead you would make beautiful organ music.
Yeah. So you'd be like, snicked, bub. So that's the idea that I had for how to modify your body.
Okay.
Just come at. I gotta shut this window. The clowns are too creepy.
A lot of these things would make life as a clown easier, I think. I mean, one of the things we could do is no clown actually has a nose that's big and red enough to work as a clown, so that's just a quick one. Just glue that fucker on there.
Yeah. Get a nasal implant.
Mm-hmm.
Get that thing all swole up, tattooed. Tattoo your whole face like a clown face.
And that's going to be a lot of space for gems.
You know what's
funny?
funny?
Got a bigger nose now, more gems.
They made that Joker movie. Not that Joker movie. But the one where they gave him face tattoos.
Yeah.
Didn't think to give him clown paint. What, he got damaged on his forehead? He's the Joker. He's a clown-based criminal. They're like, "Hey Joker, what do you want to tattoo on your face?" He's like, let me think about it. I'm the Joker. I'm the clown prince of crime in Gotham City. What do I get on my face to really set myself apart as the clown villain? What are clowns known for having on their faces? Let me think about this for a minute. Damaged in a script font across my forehead.
You know, I think that maybe they're like
red around the mouth.
At the age of 18, you know, I'm trying to think of what his real name is. Derek
Chill.
Jokerman.
Jokerman. Yeah, and then he didn't choose Jokerman font.
Derek Jokerman was really into SoundCloud rapping and got that tattoo, and he regrets it now because now he's the clown prince of crime.
Yeah,
clown prince of crime.
Listen, if you're thinking about becoming a Batman villain, just it's not bad to get tattoos, but you should think it over. Maybe come up with the idea and then wait 5 years, and if you still want to get damaged on your forehead, yeah, then, you know, go nuts. Fill your boots.
I don't know. At first I didn't know you were going for just makeup tattoos, and I was like, Fozzie Bear, Waka Waka Waka. That should have been on there.
Just like a picture of Fozzie Bear?
I thought you were just saying because damaged is like kind of a downer and not a joke. I thought you were like, what would be the funniest thing that
He's just really into Black Flag, I think. That's why he got that. People are like, oh, he's like trying to be edgy, but he didn't want to get the stereotypical Black Flag tattoo, the Black Flag logo, and you know the the one with the cop with the gun in its mouth is a little too problematic. So he was like, I'll just get damaged. No, that's where he screwed up. He should have got My Logos to College on his forehead. A Joker that was into the Descendants would be a way cooler Joker. Anyway, here's my next idea.
Okay, hit me with it.
This podcast is called Old News.
All right.
And so the idea of this would be, maybe people aren't following the news very closely. You know, it's hard in today's go lifestyle, 24-hour news cycle. You know, it can feel like you're you're having to binge watch the news sometimes to get it all in. What with this orange Cheeto in the White House every day, a new scandal. How are we supposed to keep up? So I had this idea. We do a podcast where we're going back and just doing things at our own pace, just talking about what's in the news, but for people that aren't caught up.
Okay.
So like,
how far back are we going? Because at first I was really excited, and I was like,
well, did you hear about what happened to the Merrimack?
Oh, no, not the Merrimack.
Yes, I'm afraid so. It's been blown up. If you're just joining us.
I can't remember if the Merrimack was the Union ship or the Monitor was.
I believe that it was the Union ship.
Okay. So.
Nope.
Okay, well then, good.
Yes, it was. Sorry.
Wait, what?
The Merrimack, ladies and gentlemen, our beloved ship, our ironclad, that was, patrolling the Caribbean. Well, it appears that the Monitor, those rebel scum, they've destroyed the Merrimack. It's aflame.
Well, pack it in, boys. It's over now.
There's even worse news. I'm just getting word now that the Confederacy, in their desperation for a navy, they've stolen the sunken Merrimack and they've rebuilt it. Now it works for them.
And it's a ghost ship.
It's a ghost ship.
Fuck.
They have no... Folks, I'm speechless
This is some really rotten news.
at it's the cowardice.
I thought it was just the time I was living in. Oh, no news is good news. Sort of bull honky, but you're really shining a light on how news has never been good.
Yeah.
Even when it's olds.
Apparently, they're calling it the CSS Virginia now. If you can believe that.
What does CSS stand for?
Confederate slave ship.
Oh, God.
I mean, we, we're all familiar with how screw frigates work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So, righty-tighty. Never lefty-loosey.
It's righty rammy with a screw frigate.
Oh, okay. I thought there was just a screw in the bottom of the boat, and I was like, who wants to let the water in? Don't let the water into the boat.
They just have a plug.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Could we could even do these throughout history. We could do like a whole month of just boat shit. But, I mean, we never get boat news anymore.
Yeah. What's that other... I guess the Merrimack isn't the one that...
The Lusitania, perhaps?
Is that the one? I remember...
I think, was the Monitor and Merrimack, they weren't the first submarines, were they? Was that like the first submarine battle?
No. They were the first ironclad boats.
Ah.
They are. I'm sorry. This is old news. Yeah, as people know, they were the first ironclad ships in the first modern naval battle, really. I believe they did have a submarine that killed everyone that ever tried to use it, but
there was one of those in the Revolutionary War, I thought. Didn't they call it like the Turtle? And it was about a barrel sized, only one person could fit in it, and really they were like, what it would do is go under another boat and then try to drill holes in it.
Yeah, apparently, folks, we're just getting word that there's
The Turtle.
Folks, we're just getting word that the Yankees have developed some sort of cowardly submersible vehicle that was that's able to get beneath one of our brave RMS ships and attach explosive charges. But they're not even engaging in battle. They're just bombing them in the harbor. The American terrorist rebels.
Where is your sense of dignity? Who would fight like that? Put them up. Don't come at me when my back's turned.
Yeah.
We set up proper rules of engagement and we follow them. This is since the beginning of time.
Yeah. Now I'm. The best intelligence we have seems to be that this was being funded by terrorist leader George Washington.
All right. Well, then we know who to talk to and say that that's just not fair.
This is not how it's done. We line up and shoot each other.
We went backsies on this one.
That's right. I mean, this is completely, and this, of course, is clearly the handiwork of mad scientist David Bushnell. The same guy
David Bushnell?
Yeah.
I know who Noah Bushnell is.
David Bushnell, I believe that he also had he invented the Bushnell Star Machine, which is a toy from the 80s that projected the night sky onto your ceiling.
Oh, I had one of those.
Yeah. But apparently he's also building bombs for the Yankee rebels. So, problematic faves.
I don't like these bombs. I think that we should have a regulation wick length. Because I'm always worried with bombs that they're just going to get like a mile of wick, light it, and then they're nowhere to be seen. Like you need to, like if you're going to light a bomb off, you need to be standing pretty close to where it explodes for it to be fair in the rules of war.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you on this. For BBC News.
Yeah.
Nathan Woodard.
All right.
Plymouth Plantation.
I believe that I'm not completely getting what you're going for because I'm just. It feels like it feels like where I want this to go is war should be fair.
Yeah.
Hey now.
You're taking like a real hindsight view of the wars. That it's just maybe we shouldn't have done them.
I don't think anybody thinks we shouldn't do wars, but I think we should just try to make sure
Look,
everybody's safe.
We all agree we should do wars, but no one should get hurt in them.
Yeah.
We should get the guy who played Fez on that 70s show. Just basically make the presidents do yo mama snaps at each other.
Yeah.
And whoever has the sickest burn.
We're probably going to have to pick some different presidents, though, because this one we got right now.
He's too good at it.
He is pretty good at burning people,
He's
but
pretty fucking good at burning
like
people.
you need to live like a life with like a not strange life to give people things to rip on, and I feel like our president has given everybody way too much to rip on.
He just doesn't seem to care, though. That's the thing. He's figured it out. People make fun of him. He's like, I don't care. Elizabeth Warren, why did you thank your husband for being in the kitchen? And he's right. Why was she saying thank you to him for being in the kitchen? I would absolutely, you know what? If we just decided all of this with a roast battle, just have, welcome to the presidential nominee roast battle. I'm your moderator, Big J Okerson. And then it's just Donald Trump just being catty to people. I'd probably vote for him if that was all the president did.
Who do the Democrats have that could Bernie's
Nobody.
The only one who could maybe hang with him.
Even he's a nerd. That's all people want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hate to admit it, but I was a pretty consistent viewer of The Apprentice. He is good at that. That's just the job of president should be that.
Just a mean idiot.
Yeah.
All right.
Is he going to go back and do that show after his presidency's over?
I sure hope so.
Me too.
All right. Let me see. Where are we at?
It's a real shame he couldn't do the show as like Who Wants to Be the Apprentice to the President.
Boy, now that, you know what? Just strip the presidency of all its power. Make it like the King and Queen of England, but then let him have a reality show. I think America's back on track. I mean,
yeah, as long as he doesn't get to make any
actual
actual
decisions.
decisions.
Is broken, but if our president couldn't do anything actionable, he was just having a reality show.
It's like when
People
a dog
would
gets
love
to
that.
be
When we
mayor.
had a Democrat president, it would just be like the West Wing was always happening. The president was like giving these like pithy remarks to people, and then they're like, "Wow, you've truly changed my mind, Mr. President." And then that like Hallmark movie music starts to play, and people are like, "Wow, we truly do live in a great democracy." And then when the Republicans are president, it's just Duck Dynasty. And to be honest, I'd watch Duck Dynasty too.
I mean, that's what it would take for me to become a Republican, I believe.
If the president was just trying to hawk his duck call machine.
No, I mean I've always loved like this is all stupid, so I'm going to pick the stupidest choice because none of it matters anyway, sort of thing. But
yeah, really, I'd like to see, what's that guy's name? Matthew Lesko?
yeah.
the like,
wait, there's more!
the real life Riddler or whatever. If I'd just make him president, I would love to see it.
I mean, he knows where all the money's at.
It's like a Brewster's Millions. He's just trying to give away all his own money at that point. All right, moving on.
Oh, man. Has he ever had a podcast?
Matthew Lesko?
Yeah, I remember him selling that book of all those money-making ideas, but I'd imagine, I mean, he's kind of, I'm realizing right now, a personal hero.
Personal hero.
Yeah.
Am I thinking of the right? That was his name, right?
Yeah. And he had those, I don't know if they were just commercials or if he had infomercials too, but it was all like, how to get money to go back to college.
The first thing that came up was a podcast about the West Wing. No, he does not have a podcast. This is another idea. We could do a podcast with Matthew Lesko.
It's going to have to start out as a Finding Matthew Lesko podcast, but then once we find and befriend him, it'll be Matthew Lesko teaching us how to, become the masters of the universe that we're destined to be.
It looks like he hasn't published a book online since 2012.
Oh.
We might have to... What if we made suits that had his face and then the question mark?
Yeah, I think we might have like a... Do you ever watch Winnebago Man? I think Matthew Lesko might have gone to live his life in the woods and needs to be tracked down.
Okay, moving on. We have our listener submitted ideas for a podcast here, and I mean, okay, we have one that is actually kind of a good idea, and then we have one that I want to bring up just because this shit is getting ridiculous. And which one would you like to hear?
Hit me with the ridiculous one first.
Right.
I want my last memory to be a good one.
Before you die?
Yeah.
All right. Well, David from San Francisco is back.
Davey boy.
As we've already established on many episodes, he is our Hamburglar.
He's a wonderful man.
And he says he wants to see a podcast called All About David, and it's about me because I'm cool AF.
I don't know enough about David.
You know what? I don't either.
Maybe he should do that podcast.
You know what? There you go. Send it in. We'll go on vacation for a week.
Yeah.
You can just do a podcast about how cool you are.
Or if it has to be us, like write a script and we'll read it.
Yeah. Send us a screenplay about how cool you are, and we'll have one of our readers.
And let us know which one of us you want to play you, and which one of us will play all the other characters.
I'll play you. Javier Bardem will play me, and then we'll have.
Do I get to play David then?
Yeah. So
okay.
You play David.
All right, I'm David.
I'll play you. Javier Bardem jumps in as me, and then we'll get as Honey Boy.
Is that my
we'll
nickname?
Get Shia LaBeouf.
Who's playing me?
We'll get Shia LaBeouf to play you, and then we'll get Shia LaBeouf's dad to play Shia LaBeouf.
I was this is not non sequitur here, but I know Jello needs a new spokesman, and I think Shia LaBeouf should
what
get
happened
it.
to their old spokesman?
I feel like they're just like letting that ground lay fallow for a few years just so the stink doesn't get on whoever the next guy is. But
hey, Jello, you know that you can search iTunes now by words that are in the recording. So Jello, Jello, Jello. Hopefully they listen to this. Get Hannibal Burress. Make him.
Oh yeah. Even better.
Actually, Hannibal Burress has said some pretty problematic shit in the last few weeks, so maybe not. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's not problematic in like a way that that the I would say
like
the world at large is upset about. But you know, if you're not horny for landlords, it might be a little upsetting to find out Hannibal Burress's opinions.
I don't know. Maybe we can do that one on the past news.
Sorry.
I don't even know what it is.
I need to clarify. Hannibal Burress is a landlord, and he said something about how you should tip your landlord 20% at the holidays. It was not a reference to my earlier joke about dating Sims.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I'm not getting this joke.
He's not into incest.
Put like an auburn wig on him, and then all of a sudden Fonzie's into it.
All right. Yeah, so David, if you want to do the podcast all about David, that's fine, and we'll help promote it. But really, I mean, who knows you better than you? You gotta, as Matthew Lesko would tell you, you gotta self-promote. The government is willing to give you money to make a podcast about yourself.
I do kind of like the idea of like hectoring David and being like, "We got to record today. We talked about your baseball card collection last week. I need some new material.
You better do something cool because you told you
everybody knows how to do that with a yo-yo."
All right, should we ask the Podtron what it thinks?
Yeah, let's ask it.
All right.
Oh wait, no, you didn't give me the good idea.
Oh well, we could save it for another time.
Right,
we've already been recording
enough.
for an hour.
Fair enough. Let's get through this bad boy.
All right. So of course the Podtron 4500 is a robot that I built that uses artificial intelligence. It has a list of 1,000 most popular. It's the loudest fucking robot on Earth. So it uses artificial intelligence to try and come up with ideas based on already successful podcast titles. It's hit or miss sometimes. But here's one. People love to hear the paper. We get lots of fans writing in. Mostly they're just saying, when are you going to tear that paper up and then quit trying?
Never!
So here's one that caught my eye.
All right.
It's called OnePlus and the D.
The D?
The D, yeah.
What do you think that stands for?
I believe it stands for the dick.
Okay, usually does. OnePlus and the dick.
OnePlus and the D. And this is, I'm assuming that, I don't know what OnePlus, it sounds like something, like One Direction.
OnePlus, it kind of makes me think about One Up, like a power up in a video game, or
if you're going to a wedding, that's a +1.
I guess it could be like if you just had a few sips of a soda.
Yeah. What? Like a 1-up. That's like an added life. But a OnePlus.
OnePlus the D.
Well, it's OnePlus and the D.
OnePlus and the D.
So you get You get a plus, and then you get the D. Oh, so maybe it's the plus. It's not the 1. It's the plus and the D. Oh, of course. That's boys have the D and girls have the plus. The what do they call it? The plussy.
I don't know. Maybe they should just call it.
I'm no doctor.
If we're gonna call it the D, they should call it the V or the P or whatever their preferred nomenclature is.
Yeah.
Just keep brevity, please.
That's how the kids today, when they introduce themselves, they're like, "Hi, my name's so and so." What are they even? Their names are ridiculous now. Jackson with an X.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "My preferred genital name is pussy." Please do not call it a vagina. That's too clinical. I like for it to be a little frisky.
You could have like the hello, my name is tag up here, but also hello, my genitals name is down here.
Slim Shady.
Yeah. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like a catch-all for other people's junk. I mean, make your junk special.
Yeah.
Like I'm call mine Sugar Cookie.
Yeah, let's just do away with the pronouns altogether and just name our genitals.
It's kind of like naming a pet. Like there's more freedom to it. You don't have to worry about how people are going to, like when you actually have a child, you might be like, I want to name him, Frank Zappa is always the example I go with, Moon Unit or Dweezil.
Yeah.
But you don't do that.
For your...
Because you're like, they're going to be stuck with it. And then they have to have that conversation every day of their life of, oh, what your parents weird?
Yeah. No, you just, when you introduce yourself, you just say your name, and then you also say the name of your private parts.
My parents named me Robert, and
this little character here is Porco Von Pop Button.
Yeah.
So that's what 1 plus the D is.
I'm coming up with some bad names for these.
What do you got?
Gravy Stain.
Gravy Stain. Trash Man. Apparently,
Slumlord.
Our private parts also host a morning zoo cruise show. Gravy Stain and then Slumlord.
Wow. I like that. So this is a podcast all about.
I guess it's.
I guess we need a guest, and then we try to find out what
our guest would come up with a name for their penis.
Yeah, we might also find out what
vagina.
their spirit animal is or something, and that might help them name their genitalia.
I mean, really, it's a journey, not a destination.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing you have to remember. That's what the D stands for. Destination.
Okay. Another one that the Podtron came up with this week that we could probably do this one is the Bear Biscuits Podcast, which I'm very familiar with doggy biscuits. I mean, they're the treat that the dog loves to eat that they don't know also cleans their teeth. And the few times I've been around bears and in like a natural setting, not in the zoo, where I think that they keep those boys a little cleaner than they are out on their own, bears are really stinky. So I bet they have some bad breath, and we should probably try to help them not smell so bad.
Freshen them up.
Yeah. I think this is why we got all those Charmin commercials where it's like, wouldn't it be great if the bears would wipe their asses? But no, they won't. They don't like it.
They do not. We're gonna have to get in there and change their diet.
But anyway,
Make
this is the
wiping
Bear
a thing of the
Biscuits
past.
podcast, but it's going to be a lot of different ideas of how can we improve bears so that the people who live close to them aren't always, wrinkling their nose up and going, oh, bear stink.
This is the worst. I'm the grizzly man. I hate the bears.
That guy probably liked bear stink.
Yeah, it seemed like he is bear stink now.
Also a great name for your genitalia.
Bear stink. Hello, I'm Nathan, and this is Bear Stink. Can we make this canon in the show now? Every week we introduce ourselves and then introduce a name for our genitals.
I think we can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, the only obstacle to overcome is the memory thing, that remembering that I'm supposed to do that.
All right. Well, I'll make a note of it.
We can tack up I'll just write a note on my notes that are here, and then I'll remember. Did you see? Do you have any other ideas on how we can make these bears not quite so bad to smell?
I think a big deal would be if we could develop an odorless salmon.
Ooh, yeah. That's going to do a lot more than a milk bone is.
I mean, because really, we're fighting an uphill. But it's a Sisyphean battle at this point.
And it's doubly difficult because everything that one of us says just turns into a genitalia name to me. Odorless salmon.
And this is odorless salmon.
I don't think I want to do that one. That's too big of a job.
Yeah.
But do you have an idea of which one of these ideas you'd like to try this week?
Taking a look here at the. Let's see.
I'm out here in my shop. I'm dealing, with.
Damn it! Sorry, that was another Calliope's music video just came up. Let's see. I like the Body Mod Pod.
That's pretty. I can do the Body Mod Pod.
I also like Choose Your Own Podventure.
Of those two ideas, I definitely liked Choose Your Own Podventure the best, but it's also the one that I am the least confident in my ability to create.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a little tricky. I think the Hollywood Handbook might have also did this exact bit. So
oh, really?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I remember them trying to do this one time. Hey, if you're a fan of Hollywood Handbook and you remember that they did a Choose Your Own Adventure episode that just fell apart, write in to us. Just leave a review and say they didn't do the Hollywood Handbook one.
I say that we make this we give it a gold star and put it in our not this week but soon pile.
Second chances.
Yeah, second chance list.
I think we should do a second chances episode at some point. Bring back some of these ones that maybe
and maybe we have a guest that picks which second chance.
We can take that, when we have that, it fell on the hard soil, did not find purchase, but it was a good seed.
Podcast onanism.
Yep. So the Body Mod Pod, is that what it's looking like? We had Who Watches The Watchmen.
Yep.
The Body Mod Pod, Old News, OnePlus and the D, and the Bear Biscuits.
Yeah, Podtron wasn't real strong this week. I'd say Old News or Body Mod Pod are the two that I would want to do the most.
I think Body Mod Pod is the strongest contender here. This has kind of been it's been a weak week for ideas here. But I think Body Mod Pod I think it takes the cake.
Fair enough.
All right, so yeah, thank you for listening in on this brainstorming session. The 9th week. We don't have a podcast yet. If you're following along and you like what you hear, feel free to give us a review on iTunes. Just let people know that while we don't have a podcast yet, what we do have is worth listening to.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and follow us on social media. We're on Instagram at WDHAPY. And the same on Twitter. And I think I made a TikTok, but we don't know how to work the TikTok.
With your help and support, we could one day have a podcast.
Yeah, if you get in the Facebook group, we give shout outs to people. We ask for ideas. You can get in there and start pitching your own ideas. And of course, also you can go over to Patreon, and every podcast that we try that doesn't work, we throw into the vault.
Mm-hmm.
For $5, you can get access to the vault and hear all of our failed but still good ideas.
Yeah, for less than the cost of a cup of coffee a day.
More than
you can get. We'll probably send you a T-shirt and you get podcasts.
Yeah, well, I believe that we have another level of thing where we will send you some kind of merch. But hell, I mean, at this point, in this economy, we might just send you stuff anyway. If you give us, you know what, just send us your address. Maybe we'll send you something. What'll it be?
Stickers.
Yeah.
It's going to be stickers.
Stickers. We should get stickers made. I was thinking, what if we got a sticker made that was just a QR code that opens up iTunes, and then we gave it out, like fans could just get some of these stickers and put them on bird scooters.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's a great idea.
When you try to rent the bird scooter, it just subscribes you to our podcast.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So that's it. That's the show.
Bye-bye.
Bye.